To Rachel's point earlier, the soaring language for us reading along the last 2 pages of this speech will, I don't think, in any way override the portion you mentioned. It was so extraordinary, and it was so deeply uncomfortable in the room, saying in effect that the only thing that lies between us, peace and prosperity, would be these continued.
An economic miracle is taking place in the United States. The only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan investigations. Obviously, the structure of the sentence is weird, but that's the way it was written for the president. That is the way that he delivered it. And then what I think they're hoping will be a bumper sticker. If there is going to be peace and legislation, again, weird structure, there cannot be war and investigation. And I mean, it was tacked on like a little hat on a horse. It did not, and awkwardly, the thing it actually segued into in the speech was the part where he talked about wanting to confirm more judges and sentencing reform. Like, maybe not the time to bring up the fact that you get to pick judges and we have to talk about how long people spend in prison.
Chris, you're the former speechwriter here.
Yeah,
this was something apart from Aaron Sorkin.
It was so Trump. All night I've been thinking for all day, will he be Trump again? Will he get course correct? All presidents who have been in trouble, like we talked about, 38%. Have to make a change. They all did. Certainly Bill Clinton did. Certainly Dick Nixon did. They changed to get reelected. They saw the problem in the midterm, and they fixed it. He didn't change anything. That chunk about illegal immigration was so directed to the people who elected him. It was powerful. And then added a little soupçon of neocon in there, the Iranian thing, the Venezuelan thing, and then tying Bernie Sanders to Venezuela. His version of socialism is, of course, Northern Europe. It's Denmark. He said, no, your version of socialism is Venezuela. And it was pretty strong right-wing stuff.
Graphic language on abortion, which is
powerful.
Kind of a first for a national speech in my time.
And he stuck it to the governor of Virginia. He tied it right into his scandal.
The weirdest thing for me was the line he put in about there cannot be essentially what he said is there cannot be legislation if you're investigating me. Basically threatening Congress. I mean, he said if there's going to be peace and legislation, there cannot be war and investigations. So, you know, here he is saying we got to work together. At the end of the speech, he says bonds of love and loyalty. But earlier in the speech, he basically told a Democratic House, if you investigate me, there will be no legislation.
And why is he tying war to investigations?
Yeah.
Why are war and investigations a dyad there? I don't...
It must be like in World War II, we had to give up the New Deal for 4 years. I mean, it seems like that drastic a charge, that we won't get anything done as if we were at war. That's what he wants to make us think.
One of the things that I find unusual about this portion of the speech is that it is written improperly in terms of its grammar and syntax in a way that was intended by the White House. I mean, we've got their remarks. And actually, the remarks that we got from the White House include some phonetic pronunciations, telling him to pronounce chemo. It's spelled out for him, K-E-M-O.
Scourge?
The word that was not spelled out for him. Dachau was spelled out for him.
Do you get the sense there's some tie-in here between him and Whitaker? Whitaker says this thing's about to be over, and he got criticized for that, like he's pressuring Mueller to shorten it up, get out of it?
I don't know, but everything else he said in this speech will be overshadowed by the fact that he said there cannot be investigations. As Claire put it, if you want legislation, there cannot be investigations. It was such a strange addition.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.